Hey guys, welcome back to the Comicave. I'm Zach.
And I'm Thomas. Today we're going to be talking about Age of Ultron.
Yeah, so stick around for it.
So, Marvel has just released Age of Ultron in the United States, and it came out here in Australia a week ago, which is great. We've both seen it, and we're going to let you know what we think.
Okay, so first, obviously, name character, Ultron.
Ultron?
Yeah, sure, let's start with him.
Okay. So this might be a bit spoilery, but if it is, then it's
no, we won't.
We'll try and keep it.
Not right now. Ultron was an alright villain.
He was an alright villain.
Or a very one-dimensional. Yeah, he didn't really have any layers. He was just.
I'm gonna kill the Avengers and the human race because that's what I think is good, and didn't really explain that actually.
Yeah, it didn't explain
the whole piece is only available through human extinction idea. Like it was kind of implied, but it was never stated properly.
Yeah, it's something we see in the trailers too. It's your extinction and all that. He really wasn't that great, and he was definitely better in the trailers. Moving on, just explain the movie in like one word.
Alright, good popcorn movie.
So hyphenated.
Yeah.
That's one word, right?
Yeah.
Great. Good popcorn movie. I'd say that. It's one word. Anyway, it is just action-packed, just explosion.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, not really. I've said that I like those kinds of movies before on this channel. I think I said I like TMNT.
Yeah.
Which is basically the same thing, I'd say.
Yeah.
And just very meh.
Yeah,
honestly.
I mean, that would be the word I used to describe it, to be honest. I had nothing wrong with it. I kind of enjoyed it more than I thought I would, but...
It's really hard to explain that it's just meh without spoiling anything too much. So we'll just finish off the non-spoilery part of the video here. What's your rating out of 10?
I can't decide whether it's a 6, which seems really low, or a 7, which seems too high. So I'm going to go with a 6.5.
Yeah, I'd say the exact same, probably. It's a well, it's just a fun movie. If you wanna have some fun, I definitely recommend seeing it in the cinemas.
Sure, it's good. It's cool.
Yeah, because I don't know how well the effects will be on TV or on a computer or.
Won't be as impressive.
Nah, it'll look much better on the big screens.
Go watch it at IMAX or something and get some popcorn and enjoy it.
Yeah, popcorn.
You're not going to miss the story while you're eating it. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. Well, we'll talk more about the story and all that now. Wait, no, we won't, because there wasn't any.
Okay, that was me.
Okay, no.
Look, there was a story.
They tried.
It was just disjointed, missing parts, missing motivations, and
it was.
I mean, it was. There was a story. The Avengers had to save the day, and
the writers, Joss Whedon and all them, they tried their best to incorporate a story here, and you can tell that they really wanted to focus more on the storytelling and the character development and all that. It just didn't work very well, and what ended up happening was just they relied more on the action instead of telling a great story. So what was missing was like writing and dialogue and all that cinematography and all that was just lost in all the action and humor.
Yeah.
And it was really disappointing actually, because I really want the Avengers to have like this cool story with a good villain.
Like the Avengers usually do. I mean, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, the Ultron story, and that was great. It was really enjoyable. For a kid audience, updating that a little bit for an adult audience would have been great. Yeah. But
not even changing it. It was very mature, even for a kid's show.
Yeah.
Like with Hank Pym and all that, and his reactions towards it, and how he decided to give up being a hero in that show and all that. It was really impactful, even as a kid, and just not translating it into a movie or having those emotions. It wasn't.
I know we're like kind of like fangoing and like, oh, it should be more like the comic books or the TV show.
No,
like
it's not
just that. It is that. We do think that Ultron's characterization was off, and that wasn't just because we think he was better like he was in the comics, but we just don't think it was effective in the movie.
Yeah, what it gave us was basically another Loki. They tried to give us another Loki.
Which we don't need. We don't need another Loki. There's enough characters in your movies making jokes. You don't need the villain to be that character.
We need a good villain. A lot of the times, they've tried to make this really cool villain, and it just didn't work. Malekith.
Good villain is good.
Yeah, good.
Funny, they don't have to be like good evil villain. That's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah,
they're supposed to be like a foil for the hero, not.
I'll even admit that Guardians of the Galaxy, my favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, had a terrible villain. Ronan was really bad, and it's just they need to work on that, because if they do the villains right, they'll get the whole story right.
Exactly. So when we look at this movie, there's not a lot we can remember. Like there's not a lot that stands out.
Yeah.
Makes you go like, whoa. Like there's some cool action scenes. Like the Hulkbuster vs. Hulk was kind of
pretty good. I like the majority of it. I think the way they incorporated humor into it wasn't necessary. No,
but that's just what we expect from Avengers.
There was that one part in it where everyone in the cinema started laughing. I'm like, did you really need to do that?
During a fight, isn't it meant to be like, game on? But no.
Yeah, I know we sound really bad right now.
Yeah,
but we swear we like the movie, kind of. Yeah, but
we swear, kind of.
Yeah, but I just got lost in the humor of it.
Yeah,
and half the jokes fell flat.
So let's talk about character development and the characters in this movie, because there was a lot of them. There was a lot of them, a lot of really cool characters, a few that weren't so cool, but was there much character development?
I'd say they tried to incorporate character development. The Hulk was one of the main ones, I'd say. Just behind Hawkeye, actually. Let's talk about Hawkeye first then.
Hawkeye, he had a bit of character development, but the problem with it was, I don't know whether it really pushes the character forward, or whether, it may not be meant to push the character forward. But, you can't really go much further from there.
Yeah.
And also, he was making jokes of himself, which was okay.
It was okay.
I mean, it was kind of necessary after the reaction that he had in Avengers. Was it, though? I don't know whether that's true, but people will think that. But he did get a chance to shine, a chance to have a character and a backstory somewhat, and a part in the movie that was substantial.
Yeah, I liked Hawkeye in the first movie. Hawkeye is one of my favorite Avengers. He was really cool in the TV show, and so
in the comics, I like him in the comics.
Yeah, in the comics he's really cool. But I remember him from the TV show primarily, and he was great in that. And then I didn't see that in the first Avengers. It's good seeing some more development with him. I think it's awesome that they're actually giving him a shot.
Yeah,
it's just I don't know how well it resonated with.
So what about some other characters? So we talked about Hulk. He had kind of a bit of character development.
Yeah.
Iron Man, as the instigator of kind of the problem, had a bit of character development, but I felt like that wasn't fleshed out enough in the movie towards the end, or really at all.
Yeah. I think at the beginning he had this tortured soul sort of thing.
Yeah.
He would be responsible for everything that happens and all that. And then by the end, he still sort of feels the same.
Yeah.
Nothing really happens. At the end of Iron Man 3, they give this...
Yeah, it was really weird start. There was no exposition to how he got from Iron Man 3 into back being an Avenger who's uber Avenger and has robot legions everywhere.
Yeah. And he at the end of Iron Man 3, it seemed like he gave up the role of Iron Man.
Oh, well, somewhat.
Yeah, you see him he'll only use it if it's necessary. Sort of thing. And then he comes back and he's Iron Man again. And then by the end of this, he's like, sure, I'm not Iron Man anymore.
Yeah, it's again and again.
So
it's going to happen in every movie until he gives it up.
It's coming back in Civil War as well. So
yeah, it's not very long. It's half each year.
And it's just no.
The other big Avengers, Captain America wasn't given a huge role, although you can see hints of how Civil War is going to play out. Thor has been given he got some things to do, but
I kind of like the Ragnarok thing, where when Scarlet Witch messed with his mind and you could see the what happens during a Ragnarok and all that. I thought that was pretty good, but then they went really they strayed away from it a lot. They had this magic pool where when he went into it,
wasn't
he saw
necessary.
these things. It was no, you could have just. He didn't need to do that, and then
it probably would have been fleshed out in an extended version of the movie, an hour longer. We definitely would have had some more time to work on those things, but they didn't have that, so it seemed like pointless.
Yeah, it seemed pointless.
Sorry, gotta keep moving. Black Widow's. When you think about Black Widow's movie, sadly, you think about her relationship with Bruce Banner.
Yeah, which was very forced.
Very forced.
And I know there.
Whoops, guys. We just had some technical difficulties. Run out of memory, and always good fun stuff always happens. We're just gonna finish up on Age of Ultron.
Okay, so final verdict. I'd say it's a great movie, a great popcorn movie filled with explosions, action, and witty humor.
Though I maintain something I posted in a movie pilot article, it was filler for Marvel. Sure, there were some things set up, some characters, but I think at the end of the day, where everyone's looking forward to Civil War and to Infinity War, where not a lot happens, a little bit happens, but not a movie's worth of happened.
Yeah, so they just used all that to cover up the fact that there was cheesy dialogue, very little character development and story, and just a good movie.
It's a good movie.
It's a good movie.
It's a good movie. As much as we've said the opposite, we had fun watching it. We both had fun watching it. Our families both had fun watching it.
Yes, they definitely did.
And most people who go watch it will have fun watching it.
Most people will love it, and I'm sure you guys will. We're just nitpicky bastards.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Thanks. I really appreciate the compliment.
Yeah. Final verdict 6.5 out of 10.
6.5, and
it's a pretty good
go
score.
and enjoy Age of Ultron, I guess.
See you in the next video.
Yeah.